So it wouldn't be a real trade show unless we interrupted some people deep in conversation. So everybody knows Jason from Midas. G'day Jason, Tony, Factory Sound TV. Now Jason is here with Midas. Sorry, excuse us, Chris.
No, by all means.
And of course they're releasing, the Pro 6 has been around for a little while, but there's a release of something divisible of the Pro 6.
The Pro 3 and the Pro 9. And we have a Pro 9 on the stand with NAS as well.
Will we wander over and have a look?
Can do.
That's everyone that I've got up there.
So, we have the Pro 9 here. What are the differences that we'd imagine between the 6 and the 9?
Differences between the 6 and the 9 is basically the number of inputs that you can mix. With the Pro 9, you're looking at 88 input channels compared to the 64 input channels on the Pro 6. The number of output buses is the same, the number of effects and graphic EQs is the same. So it's really just the increase in input channels that's different.
So, larger footprint?
Exactly the same control surface. The only differences are really on the panelling. There's to allow you to access the additional inputs. There's just a reassignment of some of the buttons on the control surface, and that's really the only difference. There is actually an upgrade path with upgrade kits from the 3 to the 6 and to the 9. So you can buy a 3, and at some point in the future, if you need more inputs or more outputs, you can buy the upgrade kit and turn it into a 6, and turn it straight into a 9 if you want to. So you can start off with a smaller.
And will it still say Pro 3?
No. It comes complete with logos, all of the hardware that you need to increase the processing power, all the hardware that you need to allow you to get the additional inputs from the stage boxes.
Would you suggest
basically a complete kit that will turn it into a Pro 6 or a Pro 9.
And would that be an economical way to imagine people moving up the series, starting off with the Pro 3?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it works out slightly more expensive than buying the console as that console in the first place. But what it does give you the access to is to get onto the ladder of Midas Digital with a Pro 3. And allow you to increase the capacity when you need it, rather than having to buy from the top and then have a lot of surplus processing that you're not using.
And do they all use the same brains?
Yeah, the DSP engine, which is the box at the bottom down here, is basically the same. It just has less cards fitted. So the bigger the console, the more cards you basically slot in. We have 5 different I/O boxes, and you can basically mix and match any I/O box with any of the consoles. There are some standard systems which we sort of refer to as our touring packages, but the customer can customize that in any way that they want.
Okay, so sorry, once again, in a nutshell, the Pro 3 I/O.
Pro 3 I/O is the DL251, this new box here. Gives us 48 inputs and 16 outputs. Is non-configurable, so it's fixed format. The 6 and the 9 come with a 351, which is this I/O box here. That is a configurable I/O box with up to 64 ins and 64 outs.
So presuming somebody starts off with the Pro 3 and they're in the DL251, does that go back when they go up to a Pro 6, or it's augmented with the...
It's just augmented. That I/O box is still absolutely useful because it gives you extra inputs and outputs on the network, so that can be used somewhere else for some other purpose. For instance, if you're doing a festival, that could be used as a separate stage box and you can flip-flop between the two. If you're a venue, that just gives you the ability to have more inputs and outputs somewhere else in the building.
So sorry, Pro 3, 64 in...
Pro 3, 56 inputs,
in.
27 output buses, and comes with this stage box here.
And the Pro 6 I/O?
Pro 6 I/O, 64 inputs, 64 outputs, which basically is what the console is capable of. And the Pro 9 comes with this I/O box plus another 3U box, which gives you the extra 24 inputs.
Bloody great. And of course, we've gone through things before, like the screens that you can see in daylight.
Yep.
Very easy to see through here with how things are laid out. The colours are bright, easy to manoeuvre around. Jason,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much, mate.
Thanks
It's always
a
a
lot.
pleasure to meet somebody from Midas KT. So until next time,
Thanks very much.
thank you, mate.
Cheers.